Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Delusional's Arcade. So in this episode, we're gonna run over to my good friend, Jeff Kinder. This guy, his stuff is legendary. He has so many systems all in a row. He likes to organize them all in a certain way. And the collection to me is impeccable. You have to check it out. We're also gonna check out his new wing. He built this whole section with even more games, if you can believe it. He actually brought his system ones out as well. In there, he has the Williams row going over there. He has the Sega Vector row going over there. So you're definitely not gonna wanna miss this episode. So sit back, relax, and without further ado, let's jump right into the video. All right, we're here at Jeff's spot. I'm actually going to, we'll get out. This is a new vehicle, by the way. I can now haul arcade games, which is awesome. Jeff.
Hey. What's happening?
What's up, bud?
What's going on? Welcome.
So we'll start with the basics, right? This is how everything gets in the arcade.
Yeah, this is the stuff that needs to be restored.
Oh my gosh.
So currently working on, well, this is a Centipede cab that I picked up last year. I got it stripped down. It's in good shape. The monitor just needs to be rebuilt, and I got to, the bottom was all chewed up.
Oh yeah.
So I got to, Bondo that. But the cab is nice and solid, so it's real good.
So the question is it super heavy because it's empty still?
No, it's not bad.
Really?
Yeah,
because that's like the heaviest, one of the heavier cabinets.
Yeah, the particle board makes it heavivier.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not that bad. And then this is
yeah, this thing looks
Carnival.
like this is the one that I saw last year, right?
Yeah. I started ripping this one apart. This one
God.
had a lot of mold, and the cabinet was coming apart.
Here it looks like very wet and damp.
Yeah, it was really, on the inside of that was all like cruddy and moldy and stuff. You can see the water damage. It was about that high.
Wow.
So I took everything out of the cab. I pulled one of the sides off. This is just sitting on here.
Oh, okay.
And I used that as a guide to trace. You can see over here I cut the new pieces for it. I got these set. So there's two sides.
So you made one and just routed it and just traced it,
and I used the other one, to round that. I used MDO, medium density overlay.
Oh, okay. So that has like that little extra layer.
It's different from MDF. MDO is basically plywood with the MDF on the top layer and the bottom layer. So it's got the super strength of plywood,
right,
but the super smoothness of MDO. Really good stuff.
That's awesome.
Joe,
and it's more expensive too, right?
It's more expensive, yeah, especially nowadays. But Joe Zabo turned me onto this stuff, so I use a lot of.
I remember he was when I was there. He was selling me on it too.
Great stuff. So I use it for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the current projects that I'm working on now, and these are all some of the overflow. I got a zookeeper back here that.
Yeah, that was like the elephant in the room. It's like, pardon the pun.
Yeah.
For animals, right?
This one looked like it had, somebody must have had laminate on it.
Yeah, that looks like the glue that I've seen before underneath.
Yeah. And then they took the laminate off. I guess they thought they were going to restore it at some time. But
so what was it, Kid Nicky? Somebody converted it?
But it's got a monitor in it. I can't remember. I think I paid $100 for the cabinet. So I mean, just
This isn't savable though, right? So you have all the graphics for it?
I have all
do?
the graphics. Yeah, I got all the the whole.
Is that
art
Joe's kit as
package.
well?
I think I got the side art from Joe and the glass from Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what I did. I buy the stuff like years in advance.
You have to, because like it takes forever.
Yeah, well, some of the companies are fast, but some of them can be slow.
Yeah.
That's a Capcom bowling there and a Pac-Man cabinet.
Yeah, another Pac-Man cabinet.
Yeah,
I heard you had a lot,
Pac-Man,
so.
So, yeah, I don't know what to do with that. This one was, I don't know what the deal was. They were gonna, the person I got this from, they were gonna convert it into like a multi. You can see it's just got a flat panel monitor in it.
Oh, okay.
They gutted everything out of it, and they were just gonna turn it into some multi. But then they abandoned it. They just said, no, we're not going to do it.
But it's in decent shape, like the shell.
Well, so the control panel is original. It's all original. But unfortunately, they drilled an extra button, this yellow button on both sides, into the perfectly original control panel. So that kind of
Yeah.
killed
Well, you
that.
can. I mean, like I said, you take those electric things.
Yeah,
and
the
punch
slugs,
outs,
yeah.
and then you just put JB
Yeah.
Weld and sand it down, and you're done.
Yep. So yeah, I got the cabinet, and then I was, I brought it back here, and then I have a Space Fury and another Eliminator, but it wasn't by those other cabinets, and I brought it here, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, boy, this cabinet looks short. Like, what is it? And then I realized that what they did was on the bottom of the cabinet, there's like, it's supposed to go down.
Oh, they
over
chopped it
and up.
off.
And then it's kind of like a small, like a 3-inch pedestal, and
Yeah.
the sides go on an angle. And then
I didn't even realize that at this angle.
Yeah. So
like-
the bottom edge must have been all chewed up. So they probably said, "Oh, let's just cut it off right at that pedestal, because that's a flat, it's flat."
Make a Moppet cabinet out of it. So
now to
yeah,
use
because this one's like a lot higher.
Yeah, you
That's
can
without
see,
the leg
yeah.
levelers too.
Right.
So
So
wow.
to use this, I have to take these sides off, cut new ones that are the proper length, which are about 3 inches long, and then so it goes in on like triangles on each side.
Yeah, and you're willing to take that on? I mean,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah?
mean that'll just take a day to do that.
Oh,
but
wow.
It's just I mean I can't do anything with the cabinet.
what
at
would
this
Jeff Kinder do?
Yeah,
Check out
that's
his channel.
He would put a base on the Eliminator cabinet.
And then back there you have.
That's a Star Castle back there.
Okay.
That one works. It's a really good cabinet. It's actually a buddy of mine's. We got this cabinet. This is a great story. It was when I was a kid. We used to go to Wildwood, the beach in Wildwood, New Jersey. There was an arcade that Star Castle was always in. This is in the early.
Oh, so
80s.
that's the actual one.
Yeah. So
Wow.
fast forward years later, 1989. My friend John was like, he's like, oh, I want to get a game of Star Castle, and I remembered that this arcade when we were kids, back in the early '80s, they had a Star Castle, so I gave him the name of the arcade. He called the arcade. They still had it, and they still had it on the floor, like from.
Oh
the
wow.
early-
So
this
that's
is-
why it works.
This is 1989.
Yeah.
So we said, all right, cool. So we drove down to the arcade, and he talked to the owner. $25 he paid for it.
Wow.
And we took it off the floor. And it's a 3-hour drive. We drove 3 hours down to the shore, picked up this game, loaded up, and then drove home.
Yeah, it was just about nostalgia at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
You just wanted to have it.
And this was in 1989, and that was when he got this game. And it still, he hasn't done anything to it. It's still the way it is.
And it still works.
Yeah, it still works great, yeah.
That's amazing that it just sat there all this time.
So he ran out of storage space, and it's here, and I'm hoping at some point to be able to make a deal with him to acquire the cabinet myself, because I want to restore it. That is a pole position.
strength.
I'm sorry, a Paperboy cabinet back there, System 2.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I got System 2 art on order for it.
Well, what are you missing? You have pole position. I mean, sorry, I'm looking at the pole
I
position.
keep saying
You have Paperboy.
I have Paperboy
You have
and
Sprint?
I have Championship Sprint.
Okay.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with the cabinet yet. Like I said, I have just a regular System 2 side art. I have some boards for Championship Sprint. I don't know, maybe I'll have to convert it into that and then sell it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're not flipping it. You're basically restoring it for others to enjoy.
Right,
So
yeah.
if you already have it, you might as well just sell it. Put the hard work into it.
Yeah. And then pole position, that one works. That just
and
needs to be
then Dragon's
restored.
Lair. This is for the Dragon's Lair 2, right?
Yeah, this is the cabinet that I want to put Dragon's Lair 2 in. Dave Halleck from the Dragon's Lair Project website, my website, he wrote code that allows you to play Dragon's Lair 2 on Dragon's Lair hardware.
Oh.
So
okay.
There's a multi game. Sean Wood has, I think Merlin. Yeah.
So it is using Merlin then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it allows you to play, all the different versions of Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, and it lets you play Dragon's Lair 2. So my thought was to, turn this into just a dedicated Dragon's Lair 2 with Dragon's Lair 2 art that would be custom made, with the look and feel of the 83 version, not the Dragon's Lair 2 from 91, more as if the game was released in the early 80s. It'll just be a custom project, just my own, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, you're always saying that you'll never sell a lot of your games.
Nothing's going to be sold on it, but
yeah,
just for my own, because I always thought it would be cool. That was always a dream. I was like, man, if Dragon's Lair 2 came out when it was supposed to in 1984, it would have
been in this cabinet.
Would have been in this cabinet.
Yeah.
So that's a future project, maybe for 2023. I don't know.
You have all the parts that you need if something's broken. Like, you have all the templates because you've built them before.
Yep.
That's cool.
And this is a reactor cabinet over here in the corner, hiding back here, that I recently acquired.
That's a CNC one?
Yeah. I don't know who.
Who'd you get that from? Was it Brian?
I don't know.
Forget.
I got it from someone in Atlanta, but I don't know where he got it from.
You might have gotten it from, because it's still East Coast.
Yeah.
I think he's in either Maryland or Virginia. I can't remember. But
So
yeah, he cut mine. It looks almost identical, even that part down there. So it has to be him.
Yeah, yeah. So that's another future project. I have all the art for it and everything.
And it's not, is it laminated? I can't tell.
No, it's just wood on both sides, plywood on both sides.
Gotcha.
Here's where I do all the cutting with my old man's shop.
Yeah,
all the
I mean, I
tools
feel
here.
like this is familiar to me when I worked on mine.
And radio alarm saw, table
The
saw,
Ring King.
drill press. Well, he's got all the.
It's
the
like
tools
old school
here.
tools too.
I know, they're really old.
And you can't make them like that anymore.
He used to be, my old man used to be an electrician like 50 years ago. So and he just, growing up, he just had every tool. And no matter what you needed, Dad, you got this? Yeah, I got that right here. Like he always had every tool that was ever needed.
Oh, and he has the battery holder.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I got it first, and then he liked the idea. And
Oh, wow. So you have this at your arcade?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I just got that because
Yeah.
I had seen, a picture of yours or whatever.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
cool.
Oh, shoot, I need that.
Yeah.
I have the tester as well. I have the exact same one.
Yeah, the tester, yeah. Old belt sander.
Yeah, so belt sander. I remember doing woodshop class. And
Yeah. The front of Carnival, it's somebody kicked me. That was where the coin door is.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's cracked because somebody must have kicked it. They probably got pissed at the game and kicked it, and it cracked it. So it broke
Oh, my
it.
God.
So I have to. That's what this is here. My next project
cut it
is
in
to
half.
use this to cut the front coin door piece.
Yeah. I mean, that seems simple. It's basic measurements.
Yeah, yeah. And then in here is some overflow. Just ignore the table. This is
the best storage unit I've ever seen. Like it has food and for visitors, everything.
This is the kids' table for Thanksgiving coming up in a couple of days. So the kids get to be down here with the games. So.
Oh, okay.
And of course, even though I'm 53, I'm still a kid. I still sit there.
Yeah, it seems weird seeing it because like last time I was here, I was helping you with Circus Charlie and Mikey.
Yeah, that's right.
This wasn't here and it was nice and open.
Yeah.
But I remember this whole thing was filled up with crap.
Yeah.
And he reduced it a lot. Ever since he built the second wing.
Before I did the second arcade down at the house, I had everything up here. So this whole room was just filled with. And this was when I first started collecting. When I was when I was in my 20s and I first started collecting. This is where I'd have all the games in here. Originally, the Mikey and Circus Charlie. Those are recent projects that I just completed.
Right. And those are on your channel. I'll link below.
Yep.
What would Jeff Kinder do? We kind of coined that phrase.
Yeah.
From the round table.
Yeah.
This guy, I mean, you'd blast out stuff left and right. Like, 2 weeks he'd be done with the game. We'd be like, how did you do it that quick? So yeah, this came out really, really nice.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with how this
It's beautiful.
This came out.
Yeah.
Really. It's a great game. I always wanted one. And the funny, but this is another one. There's not many, but this was a game that I never saw back in the '80s. I never saw this game. I didn't see it.
I saw this all the time.
Yeah,
it was in roller skating rinks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cool.
it wasn't like in your corner deli. It was like, I guess it was maybe more expensive. So
Right.
like the bigger venues like roller skating rinks and bowling alleys had this.
Yeah, I didn't see it until probably the first time, I think at an auction,
so cool.
maybe 2001 or so, 2000. And and then a buddy of mine had one, and I played it at his house, and I'm like, wow, this game is great. I can't believe I never saw this game before. And the same thing with Mikey. Mikey was another one that I never saw before, and I got to, I played it. I played it at Galloping Ghost back in 2018.
Oh, okay. I still have to make a trip out there.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that is so great. And then I just had to get one,
Yeah, Cassie from Vintage Arcade Gal, her channel,
right. Yep.
she has a Mikey that she worked on.
Yeah.
If you follow her on Instagram.
Yep.
And it's not much very loved, this game, because it's super hard.
Right,
But
it
it's
is.
still cool.
Yeah, it is really hard, that's for sure.
And then I don't know if you're allowed to say this, but like you were trying to see if you can get a high score save for this.
Oh yeah,
right?
I was working with Joe. We kind of stopped working on it now, but that reminds me, I want to email him again and see if we could pick up for it, because he's got the high score save kit for Circus Charlie and
Right.
quite a few other.
So it's saving all the high scores on this.
Yeah,
right?
that one is.
Yeah. So what's that high score there? Did you do that? 64.
No, that was no. You got 164.
That was me.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was you who got
I forget
164.
because I do it all the time. No, I'm just kidding.
You're like, oh, doesn't everybody?
It's perfect though. Like with the joystick, it's like this unique, like
Yeah.
fatter, like Monroe, right?
Yeah. And then I got Burger Time here. Is another one that's really good. I love this game. Fun game.
Yeah.
Got this one back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, this is working for a while. It's not a recent restoration.
Yeah, yeah.
And it looks pretty. Is it original or?
No,
we did a couple things.
It's got a new overlay, new glass, new marquee.
Oh, okay.
Or not new, reproduction.
But the side has patina on it, which is
The
perfect.
side is
Like
original.
right here.
Yeah.
It's just that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, I didn't do. I put T-molding on it, but the sides. I mean, when you look at the sides. Let me get out of your way. They're in good shape. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't. I mean, you'd be
Yeah,
crazy to redo this.
Yeah, that's the way it is. And,
I mean, even if there was a huge chunk missing somewhere, I would still keep it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then over here, Super Zaxxon. I picked this one up back in 2016 locally in my town. And it was funny. I got you get those messages on Facebook, but if they're not your friend, it kind of goes to like a random place.
Oh yeah,
that
it
you don't
just stays
see.
there and you don't realize it's saying yeah.
So I just happened to be sitting around on the couch one night, and I was looking in an area, and someone's like, "Hey, do you collect arcade games? I have a Super Zaxxon." And he said he was in Hawthorne, my town, Hawthorne. I'm like, wow, okay. And so I went over to his house and checked it out the next day, and I bought it from him because he had plans at one point to redo his basement and make an arcade, and then that just all fell through, so he just wanted to get rid of the game. So I got the game, and then I did some research on it after I got it home, and it turns out that this is one of the games that was in that Half-Seas
Oh yeah, you
serial
mentioned that in the
commercial.
last
Right,
tour that
yeah.
we had. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So this is all original then?
Yeah, this is all
You know.
original. The overlay was really torn. So I took it off and had the control panel
powder
coated.
coated.
And I'm
But
just
you had
waiting.
the smooth powder coat. This is the one you were telling me
this is
about.
smooth, yeah.
Yeah, that's not like the coin door with
Right,
its little
not
texture.
the coin door texture, just
And you
regular.
can put it right on it, yeah.
So I'm just waiting for the overlay from this old game
Okay.
to put that on.
And you had wanted to sell it. You're like, oh, maybe I'll get rid of it. I
yeah.
don't know. And we're like, no, this is this is one of a kind.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, the game, they could have picked a better game, but
Yeah, it's funny. They for the
It's
Half-Seas
super hard.
serial, it was Super Zaxxon, Pango, and Star Trek, which
Oh.
were, I mean, none of them were like huge hits.
Pengo got popular later, though. I mean,
Yeah.
all of them did, actually. But
Yeah.
Super Zaxxon still, to this day.
Yeah, Super Zaxxon
It's
is
more
just-
rare because
it's-
you don't see them.
It's just impossibly hard. Like, it gets
Yeah.
so hard so fast.
Did you adjust the settings to be easiar, too? Or is that, maybe you could do that?
I don't know. I didn't
Because
even try.
nobody's ever going to go for a world record in Super Zaxxon.
But I mean, If you could last a minute on this
Yeah.
game, that's impressive. Like.
So this was in the arcade last time for the last.
Yeah, it was down at the
But
arcade,
you
but then
took it
I-
out just to rotate them.
Yeah, I had to move some stuff around and.
Okay, so it's
and-
not here because it's terrible. It's here
Yeah.
because you're trying to rotate stuff.
Right. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Xevious.
Xevious was over there
that
too.
was over there
Did you
too.
put Spy Hunter? Like you were trying to squeeze it in, and you were trying to figure out what to take out.
Yeah, and then I wound up putting Spy Hunter.
Yeah,
in
this
the
is such a
other.
cool looking cabinet.
Yeah, it is
but
really the bezel art.
The game's
and
okay.
stuff.
Just the music just drives me bonkers.
Yeah, the music gets to you after a
But
while.
they did, I think, in one of the remixes, Namco came out like with that. You know how they have like compilations? They have like Mappy.
Yeah.
They have this or whatever, and they came out with a version of this that fixes the music, where it's like this techno music. It's actually pretty cool to
that's
play.
neat. But yeah, Xevious is one of those games where the attract mode, the logo never disappears. So
Oh, so you get burned in.
any Xevious that you see has Xevious burned into
Oh,
it
yeah.
because it's always there. The word Xevious is always written on it.
But Xevious, like,
Yeah, it's
That's
another one of
crazy.
those games I loved playing when I was a kid.
yeah,
and,
I mean, it looks cool.
yeah.
I love the cabinet, how
Yeah.
they like go down. It's like a control panel.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
For space, that's exactly what they were going for.
And it's big, it's deep, and it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's definitely a heavy cabinet.
Have you ever cut one of these to like trace it?
No, I
Because
never.
they're kind of
have.
wavy and weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's almost, like Food Fight has got a lot of like
Yeah.
little waves and bends to it, but.
Definitely
And then
part of history.
you're familiar with this one.
Yep, this is my old Galaxian, which is still sitting here because there's an issue with the monitor where I believe the horizontal width coil died.
Right.
It caused a short, and you can't reproduce that anymore. It was a K4500, I think it was, which is the first, basically a modified TV is all it was, where they had a control in the back. Nothing worked on the controls. Like, it says brightness, whatever. It's there, but it's disconnected. I don't know why they put it there. It's like this
Yeah.
famous for that. But it has a wooden frame that's really difficult to just swap monitors into. Like, we
Yeah.
have to literally build a new one. So that'll be a spring project, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
That'll be.
Yeah, I'll help you with that.
Yeah,
And
that'd be a good prop. If we could do that together, that'd be fun.
Yeah. And then, so it's in great shape, like we were saying,
Yeah,
It has
it's-
some patina. I don't know if you're going to redo it or not.
No, I think, what did I do?
Somebody
I-
scratched your name
I-
on the side.
I put a new overlay on, and I had the control panel powder coated the same
Oh,
as
yeah,
that. with the
because, yeah, it
smooth.
did need, I'm not sure if I sprayed it or not. I don't think I did. I think I left it
Yeah.
original. Jason's is the one I sprayed and redid. Yeah.
And then I put new T-molding on it. That was it.
Yeah, because he has it too, but yours has the black knob, which is the older version, which
Right.
I prefer.
Yeah, I
actually.
like the black knob. Yep.
Yeah.
And then both these millipede and crystal consoles, these were down at my house last year, which I just moved up here. Rotate
Right.
them up here to. I say rotate, but they just they just
migrate
keep,
over here.
They just migrate. They just keep growing. Like, in 6 months there'll be a few more
Okay.
games in
Yeah,
here.
it's like rabbits. They just poop. We got 2 more.
So. I tell my parents they're rotating, but they're actually just.
Well,
adding.
what would the kids play for Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah,
This is at the
exactly.
kids' table. So this is good that you have them side by side because purposely on my arcade I split them up.
Mm-hmm.
They're on either end because I don't want people thinking they're the same. Like
Same,
they kind of
yeah.
look like the same,
Yeah.
but they're actually different.
Yeah, they're different. Yeah.
So a lot of people will think, oh wait, Crystal Castles has a millipede cab. No, you can't. Nothing will fit. Like this whole
Right.
thing is different. That
Yeah, the only thing, they have that same angle there, but
it
then
does, but then it kind of just
cut
down
off
here.
here,
Yeah,
and
so
then
it's
this-
perfect that you have them like pointy versus flat.
and then you can see, the difference here. They're all,
Yeah.
but they sit in the same front here. But yeah, it's got just different angles on, but both
Yeah, and
great
It's
games.
probably because of the way the monitor sits. So this one's horizontal, easy to take out.
Yeah.
This one actually, the frame will hit this.
Oh yeah.
See, the way they designed it is you have to take this off, and there's a cut in the wood where the frame will actually slide through.
Right.
Which, I don't want to say genius, I just thought they probably went, oh, wait a second, it's not going to fit. Oh, let's just cut a hole
Yeah.
and cover it,
And this one I got the multi, and it's the older multi, so it's just centipede and millipede.
Oh, the braze.
Yeah. Right.
So the other kit that he has on highscoresaves.com is the braze kit, but they just improved it to add warlords.
Right.
So
Warlords,
he got
yeah.
permission to use the code. Yeah.
So yeah, I
that's
don't
cool.
have that, but yeah, this is
Yeah, this looks really good. Like,
yeah,
see,
these
I have the original, but mine is like, you could feel like on the edges here, it's very textured. So if you go here,
right.
but this one's super smooth, and mine's smooth around the ball, so you know it got kind of worn down.
Right.
I have this, and I'm debating should I. It's all cracked over here, just like. I mean, eventually it'll crack, I guess, right?
Yeah, you can see where mine's cracked.
Yeah, so maybe I'll leave mine because mine's cracked on here too, and I was gonna replace it with this. But mine has that texture that feels just like this
Yeah,
one's
like
perfect.
this texture, yeah.
You redid this, right?
You know, I can't remember if this is
feels-
original or not. I really don't remember.
But it's I don't know. It feels exactly the same, and I
Yeah.
think I got it from Phoenix. I want to say.
But, you know, these cabinets are all written, you know, I didn't do anything to the, you know, you can see this one's got a hole
yeah.
in the front. Where
From the lock. Was that a lock bar hole?
Yeah, it must have been a lock bar or something.
Yeah.
But just, I mean, the artwork on these Atari cabinets is just so awesome. All of
Yeah, I
them.
mean, Millipede gets a little flack,
Yeah.
but it's still cool. I
It's,
like it.
yeah, it's great. I mean, all the Atari games, they really, really, really put a lot of time and effort into their art department. Man.
Yeah.
Back then, Atari did.
Yeah, I would leave this alone. Like, there's a little bit of scratches. Mine
Yeah.
has a huge scratch on the left side. Mm-hmm. I just left it. I was gonna have somebody touch it up,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'll just leave it. It's fine.
Yeah, this is, yeah, it's got the scratches here, but
Yeah.
yeah.
That's from pulling it in and out, probably,
Yeah,
to work on it.
probably, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that's something I
Your
did.
monitors look great. You recapped it, I guess.
Uh,
Mine has a 4600 that's like, you got to do the Fonzie every now and then. You smack it, and the red will come back, and it'll be rock solid the rest of the night.
Yeah, this one I probably recapped. That was a newer monitor that I put in back in 2002.
Oh, okay, so that's not the
That's
Matsushita.
probably, what are the K7000, right? Back in the,
Yeah, K7000,
back in
4900s.
2002.
Nice.
So yeah, that's
All right.
that's about it. I still have plenty more space for more.
I know. Well, don't tell your parents. 'Cause
No,
then they'll
yeah,
be like,
we won't.
hey.
We won't. They won't be watching this video, or at least this part of the video.
Yeah, cool. So why don't we head over to the arcade? We'll kind of recap on what we did last time. And, you know, obviously you change stuff around, and then we'll head to the new wing.
All right, great.
Everybody
Cool.
wants to see.
Sounds good.
So this is where we spent many nights
Yeah.
doing Zoom.
Yeah, that's right. Our weekly Zoom chat.
Yeah, our weekly Zoom chat off the air. We do occasional Dell's Roundtable stuff.
Yeah.
We have the virtual background, but you don't even need the virtual background. Look at this.
Yeah, I got a lot of parts here.
That's
Trying-
awesome. Yeah, you're the one who got me to buy these on mine.
Yeah, and actually, I think Troy was the one who got me to, you know, after we visited Troy's place, I was like, oh man, I got to do something because my stuff was so sloppy.
Yeah.
So
Like, you're
trying
making me
to-
look bad.
trying
Like,
to get organized.
You're
you
so
know.
organized compared to me.
I got, you know, all my cap kits and everything, and flybacks and
Wow.
parts and buttons. Try to.
So you're like me. You probably have like thousands of dollars worth of stuff.
yeah,
When it comes to
of stock.
You're in stock.
That's
exactly.
right. I'm in stock.
There you go, Rob.
Yeah, exactly.
Tribute to Rob.
Rob, yeah.
He likes saying on hand, but I think he's saying in stock now. So
Yeah, that's right. I think he
we influenced him,
We
yeah.
caught him switching over to in stock a couple days
Yeah,
ago.
cool. So that's awesome that you. I like those bins. I have to get those down here.
Yeah, I got those at Home Depot, but you could probably get them on Amazon. I bought them years ago, but like I was
I
telling
mean,
you.
with free shipping.
Yeah, right,
you know.
right, yeah. They come in three
As long
different
as they're prime.
sizes: large, medium, and then a little small.
Yeah, I have these huge buckets that they're actually candy bins for like pretzels from Costco, and they fit in there. But every time I need to get something, I have to dig in there. It's a pain in the butt.
But yeah, I'm here. I keep all my. I'm working on Centipede right now, so this is all the stuff for Centipede. That's just here while I'm working on the cabinet. Carnival is at my parents' house. I got the monitor here and the parts for Carnival
okay.
there.
Nice.
Because I'm building that cabinet, and then just 4900 chassis. There's some
My
61.
favorite all-time chassis is the 4900. It's just so easy to work on.
There's some 6100s back there. Some AR2s, AR3s, couple of 4600s.
Wow.
Just all different parts.
It's just so cool to see this wall of monitors. Like, you never see that anywhere.
I got three G08s there and a bunch of other miscellaneous monitors and Nintendo monitor there.
Nice.
But yeah, this one's out of Centipede. You can see it's got Centipede burning on it.
Yeah. When did you get this hot workstation there?
That was you told me about that. Probably I don't know about.
I think it was like $30, right?
Yeah, it
really
was cheap. Probably like 6.
But
8
it
months ago.
helps in a pinch. Like you
Oh,
can,
it does, yeah.
Especially taking out the sockets.
Yep,
You know,
exactly.
You just take it out with the soldering gun, and boom, it comes right out with the heat.
But yeah, definitely helps.
Nice. And of course, yeah, you have. This isn't a promo. We weren't paid to do this, but that's Peter at Arcade Parts and Repair. He has to me, he has the best parts and tech support around. You know, he just knows everything.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, so let's head out to the other.
Yeah, let's go check it out. It's been.
Hi, Jeff. How long
Hi.
has it been?
It's been what, 2 years,
It's been
right?
a couple years. Actually, it was prior to the pandemic. I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
Or maybe like at the start of
It was
it.
right. Yeah, it was in, I guess, what, the summer of 2020, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Nice. So, have you added anything?
Yeah. There's been a couple of new additions down here, and the new wing.
Yeah. The first thing I noticed is you have like all these Pac-Mans.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
This year I restored Junior Pac-Man and Super Pac-Man. I did that back in the beginning, back in January, February this year.
So everybody's going to ask, why do you have all these Pac-Mans when you have all these kits you can just put in there? Like, I have just room for one. So I have Ms. Pac. Well, actually, I have two. I have Super Pac-Man, which is different hardware.
Right.
And then I have Pac-Man in my Ms. Pac, and I have all the speed-ups, all the different versions of it. But you have each dedicated one. But you have multis too, right?
Yeah, that one's got the multi in it. That's I think that's the Clay Calgill multi
Calgill,
from 1998 or 99 or something. So that plays all of them. This one I recently got back in April. I picked it up part of a package deal. This and Buck Rogers Planet of Zoom.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's in the other.
They were.
Oh, look at that monitor.
They were in somebody's basement since I think he said 1985. They came out of a Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, really?
I think he said, I can't remember now. I think he said his brother-in-law owned a Chuck E. Cheese, and then it closed up in 84, 85. So they were getting rid of all the games. So he took Pac-Man Plus and Buck Rogers Planet of Zoom, and they were in his basement since then.
Oh, okay.
So they were moving. They were moving to Florida, and they were selling the games. So I got both games really good price.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
The Plus. Some people hate how it looks with the flags. You have like the ghost turn into flag.
I always
like
liked it. Yeah, I
I
always thought
like
it was
that. I
cool.
think it's unique.
And I always loved the marquee. That's why when
I like that it turns invisible.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows the maze, and it's not like Ms. Pac-Man where it changes the maze. It's always the same maze.
Right,
so.
right. Yeah. And those are actually Super Pac-Man and Junior Pac-Man. Of all the Pac-Mans, are my favorite. Out of
really?
all of them, those two are my favorite. So
Nice.
yeah, so I just like having cabinet, the same cabinets.
Yeah,
and
you're like me. You're like OCD. You want all the manufacturers together. I mean, you can't get nicer than that. It looks so cool together. And then the other thing. Well, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say. So these two are original. This one I'm using Joe Zabo's reproduction art on the side.
Oh yeah, that's the one with the speckles on it.
Yeah, he's got the speckles in on it.
Wow, yeah. You can see them like right over here. All these here.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So that's a decal.
Yeah, that's a decal.
So technically, that's not original, but if you think about it, Ms. Pac, right? They released later dates, later versions of the game that had decals as well.
So let's move on. Q-Bird's been here.
So we got your.
It's funny, I can't remember. I'm trying to think of what was in here 2 years ago. I can't remember if Arabian was here.
Arabian wasn't here
Yeah.
because I remember putting up a graphic on that. Yeah. So that one you finally got out.
Yeah.
Like you said, you like having everything in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, Gottlieb, where does that fit into it? You just have it here just because it's shorter because of the piping and stuff?
Well, no, it's actually here because I needed a space because down on the end, I have Punch-Out, Super Punch-Out, and Play Choice 10, and I'm in the process of finishing a deal to get Nintendo Arm Wrestling.
Oh, to have the final piece.
So so that's going to go there, and everything's going to shift down. So then Q-Bird will have to go somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
But
we'll have to build another wing.
That's why this space is here.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we won't. Well, I guess spoiler alert. You have another wing that you built.
Yes.
Because you ran out of room here, so we'll check that out later.
We'll check it out later.
Nice.
But yeah, the championship sprint.
Oh, these are new. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Paperboy, I can't remember if he was down here last time.
Well, championship and championship sprint and Paperboy were down here, but I didn't have them restored at the time, so I restored both.
That's right. Yeah, championship I remember. So we'll pull the side art later, and we'll show you it's amazing how the side art came out on championship sprint. It just looks amazing on that. Paperboy too, like all of them. Those are Rich from This Old Game did those.
Yep. Excellent
They're custom jobs. Yep. Just like the system ones you have that we'll check out later in the second wing.
Yep.
And then APB, I remember you came over with the monitor one day.
Yeah.
You were like, hey, it's medium res. What do I do? This thing fell off. I said, let's repair it. And we did.
Yep.
So that worked out. And yeah, this wasn't working last time either. I can hear it dig dug.
Yeah, dig
It
dug.
was down, but games, it'll happen. Every time we turn it on, something will happen.
Yeah.
Especially the more you have, the
Yeah.
more likely it is.
Yeah.
And this Kung Fu Master special too, right? Because
Yeah, this one is the, I guess the
control panels.
the Japan cabinet. It's thinner. The other ones, the
Oh,
US,
yeah, you're
the
right.
United States ones are 3/4. These are like 1/2 inch, so you can see the difference. And it's got those the different buttons. So I've seen like karate champs with these buttons before.
oh, and that was okay.
So, but yeah, this one's pretty cool because it's got those, these unique buttons. I guess that's the way they came out in Japan, like that.
Does it make it any lighter? Probably not.
No.
Just as heavy because it's a monitor. And then this Karate Champ.
Yeah, karate champ.
So I have a Data East cap too. I started restoration first, and you finished first because you're the Jeff Kinder.
right. Yeah, the Ring King.
I just finished mine last week.
Yeah.
My Ring King, but
Yeah.
it looks great. I
This
still have to
one's
get my grommets. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
I
the
gotta order
grommets
them.
for the joysticks. Yeah.
And you said they're Cubert.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
a post on Clav from I think it was Andy B. He had said that the grommet in here is the same as Qbert. So
Okay.
I picked up 4 of those grommet
Yeah, he might
kits.
have updated his description too on the
Oh,
website.
that's right, on Arcade Shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it
now he
says-
has to add Ring King because
Yeah.
mine are the same ones.
Yeah. But yeah, this was another recent addition. This came from Kapow, Jason. He
Oh yeah, he gifted it to you.
yeah, he hooked me up with the bro price on this one, and I guess that was last October, and then I restored it back in the springtime.
Yeah, he
And
does
they go-
that. He did the same thing with my Miss Pack. He's like, here you go. He's like, it was a cheap price, but he just said, I owe you so much for all the stuff you've done.
Yeah.
And he always wants to thank you
Yeah.
too, because you were legendary. So.
But yeah, Jason, that was super great of Jason because I love the
Yeah.
game. The monitor needs some work. It's like strange when you look at it. It's got some like blurry. I mean, there's some really bad burn-in on it, but it's got some blurry
Like splotches.
sections on the screen, like where there's clouds and then there's like a blur below the clouds. I don't know what it's doing because
Yeah.
it's
That
not-
might be a tube issue because sometimes
yeah.
I remember Arcade Jason was saying that.
Yeah, see how it's like the bottom of the
Oh, I
cloud
see
is
it. Yeah,
blurry?
right there. Yeah. Yeah, that might just be a cutoff issue with the color. Mm-hmm. But if you're having splotches and stuff, sometimes the front of the monitor has like a screen on it that gets disconnected or something if you manhandle it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Usually it happens to TV sets, not really the arcade monitors, but it could be the tube too. But I mean, I have tubes you can use too. I don't know if it's a 4600. I forget what's in there.
I think it's
It might be 49.
Yeah, it was
That's
either
what mine had.
49 or Geo7, probably a 4900.
Yeah. That's
Can't remember.
49s are my favorite monitors. Period.
Yeah.
They're just all around really good.
Great to do cap kits on.
Cool. So Commando, another Data East cab.
Yeah, but yeah. So here's the. This was definitely new since last time.
Okay.
The Play Choice 10. Like I said, I'm in the process of finishing a deal on arm wrestling.
Do you remember which monitor's in there? Is it the Sharp?
The Nintendo Easy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's not the Sharp, right? That's
Yeah,
the
I
one.
think I'll give a shout out to Charlie. He has a great channel, Overtime Arcade. He just started it, and he was saying that his had a line on the right, and it's because of the flyback. The reproduction flybacks weren't correct.
Oh wow.
And then Mike from Mike's Amateur Arcade Repair, for Peter at Arcade Parts and Repair, who we love, came out with a new version of it that seems to be okay. He was beta testing it.
That's cool.
So
But yeah,
awesome. Super Punch Out, like you said, the side art. We saw in the last video where you pulled it out.
oh yeah, pulled it out. Yeah.
So that's a rich thing too, right? That's all
Yeah,
custom.
both of them, Punch Out and Super Punch Out. We got the full
Yeah.
song.
Nice. All right, and then you got your DK row,
Yeah, and
which is still amazing to see after all these years too. Like you have Donkey Kong 2, which is custom. I love the purple and everything, and everything's purple, even
yeah, it's a metallic purple.
metallic purple. That's
yeah.
pretty nuts.
It's hard to see down here, but
Yeah. And then you got DK Junior, DK3. I can't remember if you have the kits in those or not.
they all have the
Like this is the kit itself.
yeah,
obviously.
this is the kit itself. But yeah, they all have the kit in it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Nice. And then DK3, that's my favorite. I always go with the opposite. Everybody loves Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
but Donkey Kong 3 is where it's at for me.
Yeah, who's got? Let's see. Yeah, that was you and Troy last year working on those high scores there.
Yeah, he got really angry actually. I topped that even more. It was like I want to say it was like 260, 270 or something on his actual machine. And he's like, you can't leave my machine alone. So that's the thing I love to do. I just love to mess with people and leave my score, you know.
Yeah. Well,
It's like I'm violating their game.
in a couple weeks, everybody will be here, so you can take his score down.
Yeah, he's going to try,
Yeah.
actually. So Mario Brothers, the classic. I love
Yeah.
that. And that's
And then
this is a
Super Mario.
standard one. It's not the wide body.
Yeah, this is just the standard.
Which is, I prefer this one, actually.
I honestly like this one a little bit better. Plus, then
Yeah.
when I had them all in a row, it looked better to have it in the Donkey Kong cabinet.
That's true, yeah.
And then Super Mario Brothers. I don't remember. I know Donkey Kong. I don't think Donkey Kong 3 was here last time. I can't remember if these were here. I think maybe Super was here, but Mario wasn't. I don't remember the timing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's got again. This is from Joe Zabo. This custom art. It's like the look and feel of Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
you know?
so I have a Versus that I'm restoring, and I don't want to go with the plain, because normally it has plain plexi.
Right. Yep.
I'm going to do something. I might go Super Mario. I'm not really sure what I want to do yet.
Yeah, I saw this. I thought it was so cool. He didn't do a control panel overlay. I wish someday he will to match this. You know, this is just the standard.
Is that, so you did do the overlay on that as well, just with original art?
Yeah, I mean this is a reproduction overlay, but it's just you know, I wanted him. I was hoping someday Joe would do an overlay in this style.
I got you. Yeah.
Or something to match. You know.
Yeah, and mine I think is original, and it's in decent shape where I'm not going to redo it.
Yeah.
But the buttons are all broken and stuff. I got it through Mike because he has the reproduction ones that are perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, all the buttons are all reproduction on
Yeah,
this.
yeah, you can tell they're a little taller than normal there.
From
Yeah,
Mike's
yeah, he makes some big stuff.
arcade.
So Missile Command, can't remember if that was working last time or not,
Yeah.
or we might have missed it. But you said you got this at a garage sale, right?
Yeah, I bought it it was God 20 something years ago. I got it at some woman. She had it in her garage. Her husband passed away, and she wanted to sell the game, and I think I got it for $100. Well, and also too, I mean the deals are still out there. You know, in the other space, I have Space Fury. I got that for free. And that was just a year and a half ago.
That's nuts, and it worked.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It
worked.
just had some minor tweaking yet.
Yeah, it needed to be cleaned up and restored, but yeah. So the deals are still
They're
out
still
there.
out there. You just
Not
gotta find them.
Not
as common.
Yeah, not as many deals as you can get 25 years ago, but yeah.
Nice. And this looks awesome. I mean, look at this game. I just love the 3D effect on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer Asteroids Deluxe over the original Asteroids.
This one's got the kit in it. You can play Asteroids Deluxe, Lunar Lander. So
Oh, nice.
It's kind of neat playing Lunar Lander with that 3D, because normally Lunar Lander
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
have that 3D look.
That's
and then
true.
regular Asteroids.
I mean, you don't have the whole shifting.
No, yeah,
for the
you
thruster,
use
but it's still cool.
Yeah, and they do make that control panel that has the thruster and the asteroids.
They make it for Deluxe?
That's a good question.
Because
Yeah,
I know
guess
they
not.
have it
It's for
for
an asteroids. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's people that own both. I always didn't see a reasoning for that. I'm like, just get Deluxe and you're done.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
people want both. Maybe it's because of that.
But yeah, that controller on Lunar Lander is really awesome. I
Yeah.
love that thrust controller. But I mean, for playing Lunar Lander with these controls, it's cool for me. Like, would I like to have a Lunar Lander? Yeah, but
Of course,
a
yeah.
little tight on room.
So I'm going to back up to this
Oh, yeah,
because
we got that.
these are the. I didn't want to skip over this, but now you have, you have more. You added. What did you add?
Well,
The one with the trackball.
I always wanted to have. I couldn't decide which one I liked better, the trackball or the regular buttons. So I just said, all right, I'll put
Just
both.
get both. So now I want to say, originally when he worked on this, he goes, "Yeah, I'm just restoring it to sell it," but then you're like, "Well, let me just put it down here for a little bit." So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
pretty much rotate stuff all the time, right?
Yeah. I'll
Because
pull
you need the
stuff in
room.
and out.
So this has the trackball, which is kind of the cheater's version of track and field.
Yeah.
Because you can get max on that.
Yeah, you can usually get max speed on it.
Yeah, and then these are the buttons ones. And then this one, this is your first one that you ever had,
Yeah,
right?
this was the first cabinet I ever got back in 1992, and it was really, really beat up. I overpaid for it, which everybody does on their first purchase. But even back in '92, I overpaid for it. But
in today's standards,
today's standards,
cheap.
I underpaid.
Yeah.
But back in '92, I overpaid for it. I think I paid
Yeah.
$450 for it in '92. But then after I got into the hobby, I think they were going for, you can get them at an auction for like $50.
Yeah, and this one you restored yourself from the ground up, right?
Yeah,
Said you
this
and your
one,
dad.
me and my father, it was, the cabinet was really beat up, so I had it in the basement, and my mother hated it because it was really ugly looking. So my father was like, oh, I'm, let's see, 92, so I'm 23 at the time. My father's like, oh yeah, we could take it all apart and build a new cabinet for it. So I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. So we, a couple of nights after work, we went down to the basement and we took the whole cabinet apart, got the sides cut out, and put it all back together. And I didn't know what the heck I was doing with anything. My father, he really was the one who got me into like restoring games.
Well, yeah, you're like a carpenter and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, because I never knew what to do. I had no idea. So we did it together, and then I'm like, oh wow, that was fun. So then I got another game, and I think the next game I got was Dragon's Lair, and that one I restored by myself. But yeah, this was the first game. So
Cool.
I owe all my restoration to my father.
Yeah, and everybody in the community owes Dragon's Lair stuff to you because you run the website, right?
Yeah.
Well, you and other guys, right? So
Yeah,
it's Dragon Lair Project.
Yeah, me and a friend of mine, Dave Halleck, we run the website.
Nice. Yeah, we'll talk about that once we get to the Dragon's Lair area. But so cool that you have all three in a row. And I want to say you do have the cocktail also, right?
I have the cocktail. I have Hypersports in it. That's down at my friend Billy's Midway arcade right now because he's got the cocktail track and field. So I got a cocktail cabinet and I put Hypersports in it.
So it was a custom.
Yeah, there was no overlays made. There was cocktail overlays made for track and field, but there was no cocktail overlays made for Hypersports. So I got a friend of mine to just kind of design up some art for it, for the cocktail overlay, and then I had Zabo print them out, and and then we put it down there at Billy's, so we got them side by side down there.
Nice. Cool. All right, so let's move down to your vector row. And we won't forget Gyrus. We'll put a little thing in here. Like everybody, I think all of us now own a Gyrus in one form.
Well, wait, don't forget Super
another.
Basketball. This is one of my
Well,
favorites.
I'm trying to skip over this on purpose.
I love Super
because
Basketball.
you and Timmy love this game.
Yeah, me and that Tim guy, where this
like
is a
having
favorite.
I mean, it's cool having to press the button to dribble the ball. That's awesome. But I suck. I think that's what it is. I'm just terrible at the game.
And this was one of those ones, I loved track and field and Hypersports when it came out, especially Hypersports. And I think this was their next game. And I remember when I saw this, I'm like, holy cow, it's the track and field and the Hypersports guys, but they're playing basketball now,
Yeah.
And I really like the
So
game.
obviously that's why you have it in the row. It all matches.
It's in a Gyrus cabinet. Any Stern or Centauri, vertical, that was where you would see Super Basketball.
And then you have two others at your parents', right?
Yeah, I have Circus Charlie, which I recently restored, and Mikey, High School Graffiti. Those are in Circus Charlie style cabinets.
Right. Yeah, you have a whole restoration series. So check out Jeff's channel. I don't know if I rubbed off on him a little bit, but maybe I did because he's like now narrating his own stuff. He's filming his own stuff. He upgraded to mics. We're starting to get his thing going, and he has really cool restoration videos that are amazing. So check out his channel. I'll put a link down below in the description. But he did restore. You have the Mikey and both of them on there because you were kind of talking about how you had to redo it. Yeah,
Mikey in high school and Circus
that's
Charlie.
cool. I like that it's almost like Gyrus, where it's kind of like this contained. Like
it's like back
marquee.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Major Havoc. Let's talk about this because I've been to John's house at John's Arcade, where he had the different control panel. I think he had a Tempest. His was a Tempest that he controlled.
He has the
but he
Tempest
had the actual green roller thing. But you were saying that you grew up with like how many of these in a row? It's crazy. Your arcade that you went to?
The arcade, the arcade that I used to go to, they had when Space Duel came out, they had 4 Space Duels, and then they converted 2 of them to Major Havoc, and then they later converted 2 Tempests made her have. So
they had four
major
in a row.
Havocs.
That's ridiculous.
And then 2 of them in this, and then 2 of them in the Tempest.
Right. So you prefer this controller?
Yeah.
Like it's all what people grew up with, but
Yeah,
you kind of prefer the spinner versus the roller. that
The
they
roller.
had.
I mean, when I originally set up to do this, I was like, oh, I want the spinner controller. Now I see the roller controller. I'm like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool, but I think I missed the boat on that because when they did those reproduction control panels, that was years ago.
So would you, if you can get your hands on it, would you change it over?
Yeah, I would change it if I could find one, somebody selling one. But
All right, cool. So you heard it here first. If you guys have any, you're selling it.
Yeah.
You would love to convert it because look at this row. I mean, the whole theme of the Atari Vectors is crazy. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah, this is actually my favorite style cabinet of any cabinet. I like this. Just happen to like this style cabinet. I like the way the control panel curves up like that.
Yeah.
And I was a fan of all these games back in the day when they came out.
Yeah. Space Duel, that thing really thumps.
Yeah, it's got some good bass to it.
Yeah,
Space
like I was passing it before and we had them all cranked up, and I was like, holy crap, this thing is really loud. So Gravitar, another one that's pretty good. It's less used, like a lot of people don't really know them as much, but it's really a good game.
Yeah.
Black Widow I love.
Yeah,
they say it's a quote-unquote vector Robotron. Mm-hmm. Way different, but it's still kind of cool because it's twin stick. And then Quantum also. So you had this even before it got popular? Quantum?
Yeah, I had a Quantum. This is a different one, but like 20 years ago, I had a Quantum for a while.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then Star Wars is a new edition with the Empire, right? You have the
this
kit
one
in there.
I restored this one last. I think I finished it last December.
Yeah, we did it side by side. I had my Data
that's right,
East.
with the.
I was doing my Data East slowly, and I'd come over when I could, and then you'd be working on this.
Yeah.
So we got some footage of you working on it. Should be cool.
I put this one in a row, I think, last December or so.
And then Tempest on the end, which is working great for this video. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
No, this one's been pretty rock solid compared to like Jay was having a big deal with his. Mm-hmm. He'd have these issues where it would shake. It's pretty common. But yeah, nice. And then Super Pack. This is brand new side art, right?
Yeah, this was. I can't.
So this
remember.
is my old cabinet.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a restoration series going on where I don't think I even had a series, but I kind of pointed it out in my other one when I acquired the new one. So mine was all original. That's the one I got for $150, and then I was like, now I got to get rid of this one. It kind of sat there for a while, and then you had one that was pretty. You said it was all rotted. Like,
yeah, it was.
You couldn't
really,
even salvage it.
Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah.
So I said, hey man, take this one. So that's another cabinet you got for like nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, I took.
But I was glad to pass it on because look at it, it's beautiful.
All the parts from mine went into your cabinet. This cabinet was rock solid. It was really good.
Yeah. So you didn't really repaint it or anything, right? Did you?
Well, yeah. This is the reproduction art.
Right, but like the top and everything you left because I had painted it. I color matched.
You had painted it. I left all that. Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, it came out good. And who was the side art from?
This is from Escape Pod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a couple things that are not accurate. I think on the original, if I'm not mistaken, these things are like down here a little bit. I forget. There's something that's not right here.
Are you sure? Because Escape Pod is pretty accurate.
Yeah. There's something about.
I'm trying not to laugh. Sorry, man.
But
it looks really good.
Something about this. Yeah, I mean, it's fine for me.
Yeah, I think it's missing the eyebrows.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I forget what it was. I think these are like down in the head a little bit. I have to look. Yeah, but
yeah, still, I mean, it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
and it's to me that's my favorite Pac-Man art because it has a notch in it.
Right. Yeah.
So cool. So before we jump into Dragon's Lair and stuff, pinballs.
Yep.
So you're not really a pinhead. However,
no, not really. I mean, trust me, there's a lot of pins that I would like to have, which I should have got 20 years ago, but I didn't, and now they're just, there's no way I'm spending that kind of money on them. But like a lot of,
but you like more of the classic ones versus
my love for pin is from 1980 to 1990. That's it. I don't know anything after 1990. I'm not really a fan of. I mean, they're cool. And the new ones are great. The new ones look nice, but I don't know. Just not fun to play for me.
Right. Speaking of fun, you got Fun House.
Oh yeah, Fun House. Yeah.
Which is a great game, and you keep them all original, right? You don't have any LEDs in these.
Yeah, these are all just
incandescents, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. Whirlwind is great too. I think you took the topper off so it'll fit, right?
Yeah.
Usually has the surprise wind, which I discovered at John's place when he had it. I was like, what am I feeling on me? And then I realized, holy crap, it's actually blowing on me when I would do certain things. And then Black Knight 2000 is pretty cool. This is the pin Jay wants.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Really nice pin.
But yeah, there's a lot of, like Earthshaker, Diner, a lot of the late 80s Williams. Yeah. I love them. And like I said, I should have got them years ago, but I never did. But not that I have a space for them anyway.
Yeah, so speaking of space, I mean, you made the maximum space of everything. And because of these pins, it's really important. You put them here for a reason because you created a secret area, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know if we could both.
So I'll actually go in and you'll follow me. But basically, you said your wife did all this, where she put all the neon lights and everything. This is behind all the machines, and here we have Tron. So it's a secret entrance, and the pins are on the right. They're just covered by that wall there. So where'd you get this Tron?
The Tron came from somebody in New Jersey. I got it. I think it was back in maybe 2002, 2003, somewhere around there. Paid $600 for it, which was average at the time, I guess. But I restored this one probably about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I remember you brought it upstairs. You were working on someone else's. They had a kit.
Oh, that's right.
outside,
Yeah.
And you were using yours as a template to figure out where everything goes.
Yeah, and then I just decided to restore mine while I had it outside there.
You might as well.
Yeah.
Like you said. So yeah, it's really cool that you have it and you maximize your space.
Yeah.
So that's behind the pins, which I thought was pretty cool. And that was a recent addition that you weren't going to add at first, and then you're like, oh, let me put it there.
Yeah, because it was just wasted space back there. And I remember,
you could put storage back there, but you already have storage in the shed and stuff.
Right. Yeah. And it was one of I was behind the pinball machines plugging stuff in one day, and I'm like, God, there's so much wasted space here, and I'm like, geez, I wonder if I could fit a game back here. And then I just slid the machines over and made a little pathway through there. And
speaking of space, I know a lot of people, they put tons of stuff underneath their pinballs. I want to say yours is pretty free of stuff. There's maybe one thing, one box, and that's
There's a couple. I think I have a monitor chassis under there too.
People put 25-inch monitors under there. I mean, it makes sense because you don't really use the space.
Yeah, I think that's that's the box I got for. I think it was the Nintendo box for. I think it was for Mario Brothers.
Oh.
And I'm not a fan of saving boxes or anything like that, but it was an original box,
Nintendo
the kit
from them,
with Mario Brothers in it, and I just couldn't bring myself to throw it out, so I stuck it down.
That's cool. Yeah. It's part of the charm. Of the collectors. So then we got the ultimate row right here, which is your Laserdisc row. Yep. So Thayer's Quest is super, super, super rare. Yeah. I think we did. Or we planned to do a last credit on this to kind of explain the game.
Right.
But what makes it unique is it has a keyboard. So so this keyboard, there was no versus Space Ace and Dragon's Lair where you can quickly move the controls and all that. This one you had to. Yeah, this one. I mean, you were timed, right? But you still.
Not on all the moves.
It couldn't take forever.
Yeah, you could on certain moves there was a time limit where you had to make a move really quickly.
Yeah.
But other ones you could just let it sit there indefinitely.
Right.
But the game originally was supposed to be a home system, so that's why they had this keyboard for it, and it was a very slow-paced game.
Right.
That you would kind of like the way Myst and other games like that in the 90s were. So this was in the 80s, early 80s, and. The home system didn't work out, so they had all these extra parts and they needed to do something with. So the guy who created Thayer's Quest is the guy who created Dragon's Lair also.
Oh, okay.
So then they took all the parts for this home system, it was called Halcyon, and they made a conversion kit for Dragon's Lair to try to get rid of some of the,
So RDI's video systems, right? I see you have the side art in there. It's pretty generic looking.
Yeah, it's just that's the side art that
came with it. Yeah.
But RDI Video Systems, that stands for Rick Dyer Industries. Rick Dyer
it's
was
on
the
the
guy.
top there too. Yeah.
Yeah. Rick Dyer is the guy that came up with the idea for Dragon's Lair.
Oh wow. That's cool. Yeah, I like that it had a headphone jack and volume.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
And you could continue, right? You said you were able to go to the arcade and continue the next day.
Yeah, well,
stuff?
not the next day, but because when the game shut off, it would forget it. But you could go there in the morning and save if you went to the arcade, you could save your place where you're at and then go back later, as long as the machine was still on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would remember.
So before and after school, basically.
Yeah, so you would come back in later and put more money in, and it would type your name in, and it would recognize that you have a saved game.
Oh wow,
you know?
yeah. That's cool. And then I love Space Ace. It's really hard. I prefer Dragon's Lair, the original.
Yeah, Space Ace is a little more faster paced.
Yeah, like I die, but I like the story. I love the animation, Don Bluth and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Dragon's Lair 2, you said it comes in a different cabinet, but you said you wanted to make or get another restoration to restore this cabinet to make it Dragon's Lair 2.
I mean, that's how long ago that was. I have another Dragon's Lair cabinet, and I have custom art that I had a friend of mine design for Dragon's Lair 2 to go in a Dragon's Lair cabinet. But I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, it's still cool that because they originally planned. That's why you're doing it, because they planned originally to do it.
Right. The game.
And then they kind of said, "Nah, never
Dragon's
mind."
Lair 2 was originally going to come out, in the early '84 was when it was, I guess, originally supposed to be released, and then the whole industry kind of fell apart, so they didn't release it until 1991, and by then, that was all different, JAMA hardware and stuff like that. And
so it came in that shorter.
Yeah, it came in a totally different cabinet. Yeah. But had it come out in '84 when it was supposed to, it would have most likely been in this cabinet.
Okay. Yeah, make your arcade yours. I like that you're doing a lot of throwbacks to like what should have been. I mean, like upstairs, we'll see in a minute in your new wing. You have the prototype of System 1 cab.
Right. Yeah.
Which never came out. Which we'll talk about. There's a special issue with the joysticks on that.
Yeah.
That you told me about. Cool. All right, so let's head out to the garage, and it's not over, guys. So this beautiful arcade that you saw last time was the first part. He's got a lot of additions, and now we're going to go to wing number 2. All right, Jeff, so let's head upstairs.
All right, let's do it.
The second wing. I'm excited. All right, so what did you do here? Like, you basically converted your garage, right?
Yeah.
You built a shed?
Converted the garage. I put, just vinyl flooring down, that fake brick paneling on the walls, insulated the walls, put air conditioning and heating in there.
Right, and this is new?
Built the shed, the shed.
So the shed is what used to be in here?
Yeah, all the stuff from the shed, all the stuff from the garage went into the shed, and then the garage turned into the arcade.
Okay, cool. And we did, I'm going to pause for a second, we'll do a quick little montage, but this is us loading everything up.
Oh yeah.
All right, so when you first come in, of course, you see the most beautiful art, I think, for an Atari pole position cabinet, and that's the Namco side art, right?
Yep.
This is all Japanese. And what made you go with that?
Yeah, I just, like I said, I love the original version of the art, but when I saw that this was available, I just like to be different, so I figured let me go with this. Plus, I have another pole position cabinet, so I figured I'll restore that cabinet and use the regular pole position art, and then I'll have this one with the other art, the Namco art.
So eventually you'd want them side by side,
I
guess?
Yeah. In the third wing.
In the third wing, whenever that gets built. It's some other lifetime.
Maybe a second floor to the garage.
Yeah. Hey, talk to Troy, the contractor.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you got Chicken Shift.
Yeah,
this is a Sente cab.
Yep, Bally Sente cab. I have a bunch of probably like 8 or so of the cartridges.
Yeah.
I only have a couple of the control panels. I got to get more of the control panels.
Okay.
But
yeah. So Coin Rejects just did an episode on Snacks and Jackson.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Innocent
that's a
Cab.
good one. I got to get one of
And
those.
you said you have it, right?
I have the board, but I don't have the control panel for it. But
but someone does reproduce.
yeah, they reproduce it. The name Paradise Arcade, I think it was. They reproduce it.
Oh, so Brian Armitage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean that's the easy part.
Yep.
Usually the hardware's the hardest to get,
Yeah.
which you already have, and you have the cartridges. But they do make repros, right? That's what I was hearing from.
Oh, of the
carts?
carts itself.
Yeah,
Yeah. Again,
yeah.
him too. He sells those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's
yeah,
good
I
to know.
have. I think I have the control panel for Name That Tune. Give Me a Break, the pool one,
Right.
and the mini golf. That when I got this, it was mini golf.
Yeah,
I
that's the
got it
most
as mini golf.
popular
Yeah.
of the crappier games, ironically.
Right.
Some people like it, but Chicken Shift is definitely what you were looking to
Yeah, yeah,
get. And it is really fun, and especially with the big buttons and everything.
yeah, yeah.
It looks simple, but, and it's cool playing two players.
Yep, yep.
Where one person's doing one side and you kind of cheat. Technically, it's cheating.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
still, communicating with the other player
the
is
other
the hardest
yeah.
part. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and my wife Katie, we've played it with like two players.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's fun.
You should play Robotron. With
one stick,
one
yeah.
person shooting.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
We should add that to the tournament. Actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So we usually get together. We have the Hawthorne hold down. We call it
Yep.
because in New Jersey, which is where this is at, of course, and we have all the guys come over and we have tournaments. I think it's like a 3 or 4 day event.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a
fun.
lot of fun. So that's
Fun
one we got
times.
to add.
Yeah.
Robotron or playing it backwards. You twist your hands. You ever do that?
Yeah.
That's hard
Yeah,
too.
that's a good idea too.
Yeah. So
I used to. That just reminds me when I was a kid. Me and my friend, we used to play Dodge 'em on the 2600. So then, what we would do to make it, we got so good at it to make it harder. We would sit in this chair upside down and play the game upside down. So everything was backwards.
everything was backwards. Yeah.
Rather
Instead of
but
just
then-
turning the controller
instead
around.
of turning the controller, we
But
sit
it's
in
more
the chair
fun.
upside
It's more
down.
fun upside down.
But then I realized that he was cheating. He was sitting upside down in the chair, but he was holding the controller upside down, so it was right side up for him. I couldn't understand how he would always kill me at it, and then he was cheating at it.
Honest guy gets last laugh. No. Honest guys finish last. I
Right.
have to say, yeah. So Omega Race. This one was giving you some problems. We had it repaired. It gives everybody problems. Omega
Yep.
Race is just in a problematic game. It's kind of like Tempest.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's such a good game that you want to keep them running.
It's a great game. Yeah, I picked it up last year.
This is a surprise to everybody too, because I can't remember. Had you been at Troy's yet? Had you sat in his cockpit? Because he has a cockpit Omega Race.
I've seen the cockpit before, Troy's. Yeah.
Right, but
Yeah.
you've played it and that made you rekindle like, oh, I really want this.
Oh
game.
yeah.
Yeah. So when you got this, we were like, holy crap, you're actually doing it, and you had it shipped, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't remember where it came from. Down.
But shipping now is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like,
it's insane. Shipping.
me
is crazy.
personally, like $800 for Zookeeper is just nuts.
Yeah.
That's a tiny cab.
It's out
compared
of
to
control.
these bigger ones.
Well, that reminds me too. I mentioned to you off camera earlier. We were talking about the Pac-Man downstairs.
Oh, the one from Texas.
It came from Texas. Yeah. This was back in '97, '98. From Texas to New Jersey was $35. That's what.
That's ridiculous. That's when
And
gas was
the
like.
Marble Madness that's over there. I got that one in '97. That came from California. California to Jersey was $75. And that was all it was. Man.
And I want to say, a lot of people now, they said, oh, it's the fuel thing, the fuel surcharge. But back then, they were having a fuel crisis as well.
Yeah.
It's
just
it's like whoever wants to charge whatever.
right. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's hard work, but still, I feel like they're super inflated and nothing's coming down.
Yep.
So Juno 1st, we actually peeked at that in the last video that we did here, where we saw it in the garage, in this garage.
Yeah, in this garage.
When you had all your stuff here.
We did it, yeah.
And you were planning to redo the sides and all that stuff.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to do anything to it yet. This is the way I got it.
Which is pretty nice.
Yeah,
by
it's
the
in
way.
good shape. The the overlay, the guy who had it before me, it looks like he put the overlay on top of the old overlay.
Oh, so you're just going to strip it all and do it proper.
Yeah, it's a reproduction overlay.
Yeah, that's the
So-
same thing. I have a Zookeeper that's a repro as well, and it has like an old like eBay crappy one.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I have Joe Sable sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I might as well strip it and redo it.
Yeah.
Because it's coming up in certain places.
Yeah, this one's lifting a
Yeah,
little
but
bit.
still, I mean, it's an original board set.
Yeah, original board set. Yeah.
Yours is really like, I got to be honest. When I played a 60-1, I saw Juno first. That's how I discovered it. And we loved the game. My son and I loved it. Then I played it here, and he played it here, and he was rocking the game. He was doing pretty good for a little kid, right? He loved playing it. And then I was like, yeah, we have to buy it. So I basically looked for one, and I want to say I paid, I mean, people who hear this at home are going to kill me, but I paid around $575 or $600 with shipping.
Yeah.
These boards are pricey.
They are, very. Yeah.
And it's totally worth it. Sounds completely, and it plays different. It plays similar to the 60-1, but 60-1's crappy compared to this. You got to get the original.
Yeah, and this was a game too. When I never saw this back in the '80s when it came out. I was at an auction. I saw it at an auction for the first time, and I played it, and I was just the sounds of the game. The sounds were just blew me away.
The music at the beginning, like it sounded like a villainous like theme that you know, you got to do it. It's so cool.
So I saw it, I think, at an auction in the '90s, and I was like, I just have to have it. So it took me 20 years, but because I picked this up, I think it was. In fact, I got this literally like a few days before everything shut down for the pandemic. It was like literally like 2 or 3 days. I drove out to Pennsylvania to pick this up.
Remind me, is this similar to or equal to like the Mad Planets profile and also the Q*bert?
I think it's different from Q*bert, a little different from Q*bert, but
okay, because Q*bert and Mad Planets are exactly the same.
Okay, yeah. So
it is slightly different because I see some of the angular, things on it.
Yeah,
and
it's
it
got
looks
some
very
similar stuff to it.
Yeah. But I'd be happy. I mean, I'd be happy with the Siret the way it is, even though it's kind of torn up a little bit. But
I have the stencil.
You're going to stencil it.
Yeah,
so stenciling is okay. You're not going to sticker it up like some people.
It'll be my first venture into stenciling when I do it. And I got I got the stencils from this whole game and the art package from this whole game, and it has the bezel too. This is just a blank bezel, but the bezel's got some art around it too.
And then that artwork in the back's going to stay, right?
I don't know if this is original. It's all like really weird on the bottom over here. I have the repro piece for it, so I don't know. I don't have to think about it yet.
Yeah. So Liberator.
Yeah, Liberator.
This one, Cassandra, we actually went live with her on Zoom.
Yeah.
Where we talked about it because I feel she's like the resident expert.
Yeah.
So she's Vintage Arcade Gal on YouTube, awesome channel where she does a lot of historical stuff and a lot of hard work, and really great person to know, especially when it comes to history and restoration, because the restorations that are done are amazing too.
Yeah.
But this is all original. It looks like it has a couple dings here and there, but I would totally keep it the way it is. It's in really nice shape.
I did put a reproduction overlay. The original overlay had a big tear in it.
Here, like there's a couple tiny little things here and there.
Yeah.
But that's totally fine.
Yeah, there's a you can't really see it, but there's a big crack in it over here.
Okay.
But I left it all.
If you look at this, I mean, it's so shiny and nice. Like you can't get rid of that.
This is serial. It's all matching serial number. All the parts match serial number 104 of, I think it was 762.
Oh wow!
So
that's pretty low.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. It is a fun game. It's like they say it's like Missile Command, but like more 3D, different version of it.
It was
still a big learning curve. We had this in a tournament last year.
Yep.
And I just got annihilated on it.
It's a hard game.
Well, I didn't know like everybody knew what to do, and I didn't know you could shoot certain things to protect your turrets. I had no idea. Like the shields, I think you press it.
Yeah, you got shields.
Yeah, I didn't know you can do that. Even though there's a shield button like right there.
Yeah.
I just never used it. I'm just firing it. But yeah, great game. Awesome part of history, and I think like when I went back to Cassie, for Vintage Arcade Gal, hers is a cabaret. I think that she did custom side art on. It looks just like the side art here, but it's really cool. So Championship Baseball.
Yeah, Championship Baseball.
So
it's definitely a sleeper.
I was going to say, is this the worst game in your collection?
Probably, yeah. But it's
all about what you grew up with.
Yeah,
right?
it's one of those ones where it's just I used to play this so much when I was a kid, and one came up for sale, $150. It was in I think Rhode Island, and me and Katie drove up there and picked it up. But yeah, I used to play this a lot. And this game, anybody who likes this game, they will say the same thing. It cheats. It cheats.
Yeah.
When you get ahead.
Most sports games try to catch up.
Yeah.
You know, Midway being the NBA Jam was very famous for that, where it cheated just to catch up to make it cool, you know, and interesting. But,
Yeah.
So have you ever won against a computer on this?
I've never won, no.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
if it's
just something there.
possible. Yeah.
Well, it's meant to take your money, technically.
Yeah.
And then Buck Rogers, you got pretty
Buck
recently,
Rogers.
right?
Yep, this was part of that package deal I got with the Pac-Man Plus. This was one that was in the guy's basement since '85, I think he said. Came from Chuck E. Cheese.
Wow, so you actually had this in Chuck E. Cheese. I can imagine kids playing it, you know, just loving the joystick. Like, this thing feels really beefy.
Yeah, it's a real heavy-duty joystick.
It's weighted on the bottom.
And this control panel is so cool. It's got it's a piece of plexiglass here, and it's lit from behind, so this lights up, which is just it's so unique for a control panel.
Well, usually cabarets have that instead of the marquee, but this has the marquee and that, which is pretty unique.
Yeah, and this is just this little. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they have a little tiny square there.
Yeah. And then the thing is, it looks like a spaceship if you look at it. It's curved, you know, kind of looks almost like a Stargate cab a little bit, where it's like kind of like angular and then it goes in skinny at the bottom. But really cool looking cab.
Again, it's my opinion. It's a horrible game, but I used to play it a lot when I was a kid. Yeah. And I just love it. You know,
it's fitting that you put them both together next to each other. And then, of course, there's no slouch here. I mean, Tapper. I mean, that game is just, you know, classic. Yeah. These look like they're original here.
They're original handles, yeah. This cabinet I built this whole cabinet from scratch. I got the machine and it was literally falling apart. Like, when I took it out of the truck, when I got it here, the speaker grill fell off it, like the whole grill fell off it.
Oh, because it was all rotted.
The front was coming off it. The bottom was just totally rotted out.
Right.
Well,
I mean, you had a good template.
Yeah, so I just used it.
So you just basically copied the cabinet. It wasn't CNC cut.
Reproduction.
You know, you just did it.
Yeah, I did it with the router and the tracing bit. But it came out really, really good, you know, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little plug for Joe Sabo because he's redoing the graphics on this, right?
Yeah, oh my god.
So he basically, I'm going to go around this end here. He basically took this, you know, the non-color version, and he colorized it like it should have been, I guess. So let's touch on the Williams cabs real quick. So, of course, Defender is down. I think you have it out for repair.
Yep, so it's getting repaired right now. It
just was a little flaky there. But you used to have, I think it was in your Joust, right? You had a multi-Williams in your Joust.
Right, yep.
And then you actually took it out because you wanted all the games in a row.
I did, yeah.
I think it's honorable and great.
The Joust was a multi-Williams. I had it like that for probably 20 years. And then I said, you know, I'm going to start collecting the other cabinets. So I took the multi out and I made it back into Joust. And then,
right.
So Defender, Stargate. Blaster was a custom build of mine. The wood blaster is my favorite. You know, the durable blaster was the more popular one.
It's funny because that one's a more rare one now.
Yeah.
And I've played it. I think, you know who has that? Richie Knuckles.
Yes, he does, yeah.
Yeah, I played it for the first time in that cabinet, and I was like, this game is great. What are people talking about, you know?
Yeah, I love the game. I used to play it a lot back when I was a kid, and I just love the wood cabinet, the art on it.
Yep.
But that cabinet is so rare and so hard to get, and then when they do come for sale, they're like 10, 15,000, like ridiculous. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just put a J-Rock board in and build a cabinet. I modeled the cabinet after a Stargate cabinet. It's a custom build. It has, you know, it's the original wood blaster is different than what I built, but for what I just, you know, I'm happy with what I have. Yeah. And didn't have to spend, you know, $15,000 on it.
So so you have looks like you have the prototype marquee there.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think that looks badass.
Phoenix Arcade, they sold that, and I was like, that's really cool. So
and it's reverse printed, I guess.
Yeah, I
can't remember if it's glass. Oh no, it's plexi, but it's reverse, I'm sure. Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, Robotron, the Joust, and Sinistar. Sinistar's having some issues.
So that's original hardware, of course. That's
original hardware. Yeah,
partially.
Before all you guys come out, Troy will be upset if I don't have this working.
Yeah, we got to get it working. It was working yesterday. So now it just keeps rebooting.
Yeah.
But Gorf.
Yeah, Gorf stuck in between here. Again, I had the games were back to back, and then I just realized, I could put 2 more games in if I just spread them wide. There's still enough room on each side.
Oh, okay.
So I tucked this game in, and then Spy Hunter tucked in on the other side. I picked the narrowest games and I think Gorf and Spy Hunter were both like 24 inches.
Oh, that's
versus
right, because Spy Hunter is
25.
longer. Like
Yeah,
front
Spy
to
Hunter's
back.
deeper, but it's narrow because they're
Yeah,
both
yeah.
vertical games. So these were, of the machines out here, these were the most narrow ones, so
Right.
I used those.
So this is running original hardware, I'm
It's
assuming.
original hardware. I
Yeah.
got the high score save kit in it, and,
Okay.
or
So,
free play kit, whatever it was.
yeah.
I guess it.
But it's still a cool looking cab,
Yeah, I like it.
you know.
yeah.
And the joystick is like the Satan's Hollow joystick and everything else.
This was a reproduction control panel. This
Yeah.
was a reproduction.
That was from Rich.
No, this is from like 20 years ago. I don't know who did it.
Oh, okay.
This is somebody reproed these.
But they're printed on.
yeah, it's printed on.
wow.
I
'Cause
think
I know-
it was arcade renovations, but not the arcade renovations of today. It was another
it's
guy,
different.
Philippe. He owned arcade renovations, and he did a lot of repro artwork.
Right.
And that's where this.
Because
came
Rich will
from.
do this.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still has it available, but I remember him announcing that he was doing it printed, screen printed right on, which is amazing, just like the
Yeah.
original. All right, so what do we got over here on this side?
So we got Frontline Frogger here. Frontline, definitely a great game. I love it.
Yeah, I want to say it's the same cab as Elevator Action, but I'm not really sure. Say in the comments if you guys know what goes to what. I know like Jungle King was the green one,
Right, yeah.
Kicks was the gray.
Gray, yeah.
I can't remember what Frontline was because you don't really see them all the time.
Yeah.
It is a hard game. You got to press the fire. So you turn this right here, and then you press
Yeah.
to fire, and then you have grenade.
Grenades, yeah.
Really hard game. I like the Kari Warriors. I always thought as a kid they were the same game, just different graphics.
Right,
Because
yeah.
I was an idiot, but it's a really cool game for sure.
But yeah, I got the cabinet probably about a year or so ago. My
This
friend,
is all stenciled.
yeah,
right?
my friend
Oh, yeah, I
Mike.
can feel it.
Yeah, my friend Mike did an amazing job on the
Wow.
stenciling of it.
It's like he used like spray. He had to have sprayed it,
Yeah, yeah.
like with a sprayer, not like
Yeah.
rattle can.
Frogger.
And then Frogger, always a classic to have,
Yeah.
and underrated. Only thing I don't like about Frogger is you can't put your initials in.
Right. I
It's the only thing I don't like.
do have the free play kit. I forget. This one does let you put the initials in on
Oh,
the free
in the
play
kit.
kit.
Okay,
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, it
So that's
does
good.
have the high score table with your initials.
Right.
I think. Let's see. That's one of the things.
Oh, it's not going to come up.
Yeah.
And then Star Trek, it's you sent that out to get repaired.
Yep, I
Just
sent
having
the-
some issues here and
Yeah.
there.
Sent the
I
boards
think it'll
out.
be ready by
I hope.
December?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it should
yeah,
be.
so we usually have a get together where everybody comes over, and that's one of the games.
Yeah, I just
They love.
I had the monitor out because I was testing the monitor and I just put everything back in. I just realized I put the bezel in upside down.
Oh, that's funny.
It, yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm
there you
just
go.
looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so it's
weird
currently
writing.
being worked on. Yeah. So Space Fury, this one's super interesting because you got this for nothing.
Yeah, I got it for free.
Like somebody called you and you're like,
yeah,
you got to jump on it or else it goes away. Kind of.
Yeah, the guy that I work with said, "Hey, do you still?" It was a Sunday morning at like 7:30 morning. He's like, "Hey, do you still collect arcade games?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "There's a guy down by me that listed in I think it was Nextdoor, the app Nextdoor. Like it's like free arcade game." And I said, "Oh wow, cool." And he said it's space something.
Well, yeah. Before he said that, you're like, oh yeah, that's cool, but like you already have so much that you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna bother.
I
Free
thought he was
arcade
talking
game's
about
gonna be
Space
junk
Invaders
or something.
Yeah.
And then when he said space something, you were like, it's probably Space Invaders or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you went to go look at it, right?
Well,
at that
no.
point?
So then I called him, my coworker, and I said, so do you know what the name of the game is? You said space something, and he said, I'll find out. I'll message the guy on the app. So he messaged the guy, and he texted me back and said Space Fury, and I immediately called him. I'm like, tell him to hold that game. Give me the guy's number right now, because it was for free.
Yeah, and you got there in time.
Yeah, so I called the guy. It was about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I said, "Yeah, I'm real interested in the game. I can come down and pick it up right now if you want." And he goes, "Oh, I'm going out right now. Maybe tomorrow." And I'm thinking, okay, this is not gonna. By the time tomorrow's around,
there'll be 100 guys.
Someone in the area is gonna. So I went down there. It was like an hour and a half drive. I went down there, picked it up Sunday night. He told me the story. I think he said his uncle had a vending route back in the early '80s, and he had a whole bunch of these machines, on route. And then his uncle got out of it in like 1990, and he gave him this machine and a jukebox, and they were in his basement since 1990. And then his wife said, "You got to clean out the basement, get this stuff all out of the basement." So that was when he listed.
So you helped to move it out of the basement?
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So that was last year.
Some people will move it upstairs, and I usually tell them to wait because, you know, they're getting rid of the game. They don't care if they scratch it up. So I like to do it with them to make sure like nothing happens to it.
All right. But yeah, he got it. I got it for free.
Yeah, and it worked, right?
Yeah,
you turned
it worked.
it on, it worked. It had a couple glitches here and there that needed adjustments, and I think, did you send it out? I mean,
Yeah,
'cause it's
sent
such
it
a
to
rare game.
Matt Janzik, he did the monitor and the boards. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's an Easter egg in this, right? You said that, is it Star Trek that has it? That it has this dude in it, Star Trek?
Oh, Zector has got this guy in it.
Yeah.
The Zector
Oh,
game.
Zector, yes.
That's one.
So that's on the Star Trek because it was the multi that you had in the Star
Right.
Trek.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm also in the process of building a Zector cabinet too. So
Right.
it's something I like. Zector. Zector's a really good one.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have them next to each other too. Space
Yeah.
Fury and Zector.
Yeah.
Because they are related, yeah. But it really is a cool game. It's one of the games that had speech in it, just like Star Trek and all the other ones. And the guy's mouth moves to it. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so Eliminator.
Yeah. Eliminator, another Sega Vector, really cool game. This was one I did not see back in the early '80s, but you know, saw it for the first time in the '90s, and definitely, you know, another favorite of mine. And when it came available, I picked it up.
You know, what I think it's cool about all these Sega Vectors is like they're in the same cabinet that the Rasters are in.
Yeah,
You know,
they-
same, like different monitor too, but same position that they're in, same angle and all that. So like if you look at these Congo Bongo, which is another game some people don't like. I like the game. I liked it when it first came out. I hate it on Atari 2600. It's awful. It's like here, this. It's terrible. But it's a really fun game if you know what to do, and once you practice, it's actually really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, they used that Sega converter game was the name of the thing, and that was the
Oh, okay. Converter game.
yeah.
Nice. So this one here, Congo Bongo, I heard, I don't know if it's true, that didn't they sue Nintendo for using Donkey Kong?
Oh, I don't
Everybody
know.
thinks it's the other way around, but I
Yeah.
think they came out with it first. And
Yeah.
then they kind of sued them. And they're trying to do like, you know, the same graphics as Zaxxon, where like it's all, what
Yeah,
do they call it?
3D.
What's the name of it? It's not really
Oh,
3D.
like
it's
isometric. or something.
isometric,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Well, no, this came out I think '83. Donkey Kong was what, '81. This thing came out '83.
Oh, really?
I think it was.
Yeah, somebody was suing someone over that. I can't remember
Maybe Nintendo. They tried
what
to.
the deal was. Yeah.
They said, "Hey, this is like Donkey Kong."
I feel like even nowadays Nintendo sues everybody. And then before you get to the System 1 row, which we'll talk about, we'll go here.
Yeah.
So you have a classic Galaga.
Yeah, Galaga. This was one of the. I think when I got back into collecting in 2017, this was like I think the first restore that I did.
Nice. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, came out good.
And then Rally X.
Yeah, got
This one, there's a long history between me and Jeff with this one where last time we were playing a tournament, this
Yeah.
was in the tournament,
Yeah.
he had an unfair advantage because all these years he had been playing it, he had no idea that the radar was supposed to be functioning. And I'm like, where's the radar? He's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
like-
it showed the flags, but it didn't show the
Yeah.
enemies or something.
To the
I think.
point where you didn't even believe me. You were like, no, you're making that up. It's a dip switch or something. You were trying to flick the dip switches, and it turned out
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the board was bad. You sent it out to Mike. He fixed it.
Yep.
And now, I guess you're enjoying it more. Like, it's a whole new aspect. It's like a new game for you now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you use the radar. But to me, it's super important to see how many pieces are left, where the guys are at.
Yeah.
But you played it blind the whole time, and you did well. You still kicked their butt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I threw in the towel on this. I'm like, I'm not playing. I'm boycotting this game because it's not fair with no radar. So, pronounce that.
Phoenix Pleiades.
Pleiades.
Yeah,
Everybody says
Pleiades.
it differently.
Yeah.
So, this I really like. I like that it's also different on here, right? It's spelled differently.
Yeah, there and
It's
there.
without
They're
the E.
missing the E.
Yeah, and that has the E, so that's a little fun fact.
Yeah.
Centuri Cab,
Yep. Both of them.
definitely cool. I'm not sure if Time Pilot is the same form factor. It is,
It's the
right?
Same cabinet.
Yeah,
Time
Pilot's
Pilot.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, there was a lot in this cabinet. Swimmer, Time Pilot, The End, Route 16.
Right. Route 16, yes. Troy just bought that one.
Yeah, exactly.
That one has like a rounded back
Yeah.
inside, like the marquee inside. It's really weird.
But
Cool.
yeah, a lot of them. There were a lot of fun games that they made.
Nice.
Century made, yeah.
And speaking of more fun games, you have the whole entire collection for System 1s. And
Yeah.
these are all custom side arts. You can see
Yeah.
right here on the side, Peter Packrat, custom side art. You have all the customs, right?
Yeah.
D. Jones. That's why you spaced them a little bit so you can see them.
Yeah, so you can see the side art a
I think
little
that's
bit.
so pretty cool. Then we got Roadrunner. That one's also custom down there. You can see everything.
Yeah, probably of all the custom art, my favorite one is Roadrunner. The colors on it are just great.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Nice. And then Road Blasters, Marble Madness. And a lot of people will count. It'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 System 1s, but you have 6.
Yes.
The reason you have 6 is because Relief Pitcher is a prototype, right?
Yep. Prototype that never came out, unfortunately, because it's a really good game. Anybody that plays it, when they come over and play it, everybody says the same thing. Wow, this is great. And it's not like there's no. It's a completed game. But I guess it didn't test well when they.
When they released it.
They probably.
So it's not just one of a kind. It's like, is this the only one that's out there?
I think there's 2 of them. I'm not sure who has the other one, but I know there was 2 different control panels for it.
Okay.
They're similar. It's the regular control panel, but the artwork on the control panels are a little different.
Right. So Relief Pitcher, you made that on the top. You made that artwork.
Yeah. So that's the font from the Relief Pitcher, from the Atari from the 90s.
Oh, I got you. And then the side art you just left as the generic System 1.
Right.
Just because it's kind of fitting in a way. Like, you don't have one that's generic because you made all the other ones custom, and this one is, so it's great.
But I just, I said to my friend, here's what the font looked like, and here's the other marquees. I just want something that kind of looks the same, so he just came up with this custom design.
Yeah, it looks great.
Put the Atari
I would
logo
never
on it.
have guessed, at the
And I told him to put, I think I can't read it. I think the year, I think it was 1986. I said, put the little copyright like an actual,
like an actual
game
game.
out.
That's cool.
That's what the copyright on the game says.
Oh, okay. So one thing, these are Hall Effect joysticks, right?
Yeah, it's got 2 Hall Effect joysticks in it.
So I know you were saying a fun fact about it is that there's no way to calibrate them.
Yeah,
in
like
this actual game. So what do you have to do?
Roadrunner in the
that's also Hall Effect.
Yeah,
on
Roadrunner has a Hall Effect stick too. So in the test menu, you can go into this one thing where you can actually calibrate the joystick. But the problem, I don't know if this, maybe because this was prototype, when you put this into the test menu, it doesn't have a thing to calibrate the joystick. So to calibrate these sticks, I had to take them out and put them onto hook them up to Roadrunner, and then go through the test menu to get the thing calibrated. And so it's real.
Wow.
They need to be recalibrated, but it's just such a pain because I got to take them out one by one and hook them up.
Okay.
Because there's no other way to calibrate it.
Maybe you should move them next to each other so it's a little easier.
Yeah.
But that's cool. And
definitely fun. All of them are great games.
Yeah.
But this one
and then who was it? Timmy was glued to this before. Like he kept not wanting to stop playing.
Yeah. And
Probably
Brian
because
too.
he never saw it, and it's also part of history that it never came out.
Brian and Eddie Mike were here back, I think it was in the springtime, and Brian was playing this a lot. He played it so much that it actually crashed the game. The main board crashed.
Oh, wow.
The main board blew on it.
Yeah, I like the little things they say, like try it again. And then one of them he just said was say what?
Yeah,
there it is.
Say
what? Right on cue.
Yeah.
Then Peter Packrat's another pretty obscure game. My buddy Brian King, Arcade Nut on the forums, loves this game. It's his favorite System 1 game, and he restored his looking the same way, like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think he might have used the regular System 1 art.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if this was out yet when he did it, but still really cool. And then Indy Jones, a lot of people hate on this game, but I like it. I think it's a cool game. It's fun.
This was when I got Marble Madness back in '97. I got this kit right away for it. So
Right,
this
and
was
that's another
one that I
logo
used to
joystick
play.
right there.
That's just a logo
8-way.
joystick. Yeah.
And then I think Jay sold his. He had the kit.
The kit. Yep.
I picked it up for him, and then he converted it to Marble Madness, changed it to Indy Jones a couple times, and then he's like, I don't play it as much, and he let some other collector enjoy it.
But yeah, all of them I did, control panel overlay. All the overlays and the artwork came from this old game from Rich.
It's amazing. It looks great.
Yeah.
And then speaking of everything else, like, the whole ambiance in this place, like you put like faux like brick on here.
Yeah.
Those are panels.
There's I insulated all the walls.
I mean, it's cool because they're like textured and stuff.
Yep.
It
Fake
feels
brick.
like it.
I painted this, shot the ceiling black. I put ceiling fans up there. It's got regular, factory lighting stuff.
Oh, I got you. Yep.
The garage door and everything, the back of the garage. I shot all the garage door stuff black. The back of the garage doors I
Right,
painted
over
black.
the insulation, like you said.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty warm in here. Like, you have the heat. You turned it on earlier. It's like, what, 30 degrees out now?
Yeah, it's cold out.
And
now.
it's pretty
fine,
comfortable here. We
Yeah.
have the heat off, and it's good to go.
But yeah,
But you do keep it on, I guess, year-round to not have the games like in sub-zero.
Yeah, it's just so it's not freezing. In
Yeah,
here, but,
so technically it's controlled environment storage.
Yeah.
Even though
But
it's
yeah,
out here.
it came out good. Like it insulated the ceiling, painted everything black, the back of the garage doors, all the.
And then you put the LEDs as well?
Yeah, did the LEDs strips on the
that's
ceiling,
cool.
and then
RGBs.
the arcade sign, of course, that was a custom sign.
So that's a custom one you said you made where you bought the letters, you wired everything up yourself.
Yeah,
And then you said originally that you needed 2 power supplies, right? Because the first one wasn't quite handling it.
Yeah, I
It flickered a
tried to
little
hook all the LED strips up together, and it just wasn't cutting it. So.
bit. Dude, I love that that you can't buy this. Like, you made it, nobody's gonna have it. It looks
Yeah.
really good. It's something you worked on with your wife.
Yeah, we did
where
it.
She helped you out.
We were walking through. She loves Hobby Lobby, and we were walking through Hobby Lobby, and we came to the aisle, and they had these metal letters, and she picked one up, and she was looking at it, and I'm like, the first thing that came to my mind is, I think she picked up an A, and I'm like, wow, arcade, that would look so cool in the garage when I get
it's
to
for arcade.
And it was before the garage was done, and we just happened to be there that day, and I'm like, I could write, and then I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I'll stand them off the wall a little bit, and then put LED lights behind them, and that originally was just one color, but then I got LEDs that kind of cycle through colors there, so I just made it cycle through all the colors, and it makes it kind of
it looks really good.
like it's alive.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it totally makes the whole arcade. All right, so that's Jeff Kinder's arcade tour. Man, we could have been there for ages talking. He had so many stories to tell. It was amazing. Jeff actually has a website. It's the Dragon's Lair Project. You probably recognize him because of that. He's also DLP on Clav, but the Dragon's Lair Project, I'll leave the link in the description below. He just started a YouTube channel as well with his restorations. He's had a whole bunch of series on there. I think he did a carnival, he did a Circus Charlie, where he was converting it from a gyrus cab. Just really great stuff. He's really good at woodworking, and I'm just amazed every time I hang out with him. So thanks again, Jeff, for just having me there. I know we hang out a lot, but just shooting everything and having fun, it was just a great, amazing experience, so I thank you for that. If you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram at Del's Arcade. Also on Twitter as well, the same thing, at Del's Arcade. And if you want to follow me on Twitch, I'm just starting that out. It's Del's_Arcade. It's a little different on that. But I'm going to be streaming the live video that's coming up on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously, where you can ask Jeff some questions. So stick around for that. If you don't see it change automatically at the end of the video, you should be able to click on the little box there that says, go to live feed. I'll have it on there. But you're not going to want to miss that, only because he's going to be showing updates to the stuff he had at the beginning. A lot of those projects at the beginning were shot back in November, and now he's completed them. He's just really good at what he does, and they look amazing. Draw dropping stuff, going from old stuff to brand new stuff. So yeah, check it out. So we'll be there. We'll see you there in a few minutes. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Thank you.